Welcome to the Service Industry Podcast. I've spent the last decade as a CEO, operator, and business builder selling tens of millions of dollars in products and services. I, just like many of you, started with nothing. My mission for this podcast is to help you become the greatest version of yourself, help you grow and scale your business, and create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm your host, Matt Smith. Enjoy the episode. What's going on, guys? Matt here from the Service Industry Podcast. Hope everybody's doing well. We've got another episode number 200 and something, and I'm excited to hang out with you guys today because I got a good little episode, I think, and it's going to bring you guys a little bit of value. It's going to help you to see things to look out for or things to work on in your business. And today we are talking about the top 5 things that I see home service business owners lacking on inside of their business. And you guys know I do coaching I've done coaching with hundreds of home service companies all over the country. This is by far the top 5 things that I see guys and gals in the home service business space missing. So this is going to allow you guys to hopefully not miss them in your business or start to work on them so you can be better, bigger, stronger, faster, make more money, etc. You guys get it. Before we dive in, a little bit of housekeeping. You guys know I own ServiceIndustryCoach.com. We are a print marketing agency. We help home service businesses with all print marketing, direct mail, yard signs, custom folders, business cards, blah, 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 blah. Could go on and on and on. The link is always in the bio of the show notes here. Click it, buy something. We'd love to help you. And we would love to help you create a marketing plan so you can start to scale your business. All right, so let's dive in. So these are the 5 things, and this is going to be a fairly quick episode, but these are just by far the top 5 things that I see most home service businesses lacking on, sucking at, or not having at all. And this comes in all different size companies. So this is not just for businesses that are just getting started. Actually, oftentimes, it's companies that have been around for a decade. I've done coaching with guys that haven't even started the business yet, and I've done coaching with guys that are doing multiple 8 figures a year, meaning tens and tens of millions of dollars per year in revenue. And these things fall all over the map as far as revenue goes. So number 1, by far, I have to talk about this. I know I talk about it a lot, but it's branding. Lack of branding, I should say. Majority of companies have a weak brand. Now, when people think brand, they think business name. Although I do think business name it's important. It really, really is. It's not the most important thing. You can build a strong brand around a weaker name. But okay, regardless of the name, if you have a weak brand, the name will not matter. And so one of the biggest things that I see people in the home service business space cheap out on, and if I'm being honest, you guys, this is a home service business problem. The behavior of home service business owners by far is vastly different than almost every other industry, vastly different than people in e-commerce, vastly different than people in tech. Y'all are just cheap. You're cheap. And that's honestly why it's so easy to win in this space, is because most home service business guys, they don't want to spend the money to create a brand. It might be $2,000, and then there's other branding companies out there that charge $20,000. Regardless, the return is there long term. And so this is by far the number 1 thing. And the beautiful thing about this is, regardless of how new or how old your business is, this is something that you can always redo. You can rebrand. Monster companies do this all the time. Why? Because they understand the power in keeping a brand that is fresh and modern and updated and memorable, right? And so branding is the number 1 thing I see. If I had to put a percentage on it, 90% of companies have weak brands in the home service business space. If this is you, we help people like you. Reach out to me. Number 2, marketing consistency. Okay. And this isn't necessarily a behavior problem, meaning I didn't put out enough door hangers today, although technically you probably didn't. It's a mind shift problem. It's a mindset problem. People, for whatever reason, believe that they should be able to go out and put out 20 yard signs or 100 door hangers or send 500 direct mail pieces and that they should get results. And I'm just here to tell you that that is not how it works. It's just not how it works. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, because if it did, okay, hear me out. If it did, everybody would do it because it would be easy. It would be cheap. It wouldn't take a lot of time. And as you guys know, that's just not the case. If you don't put in the time and you don't spend the money and you don't do it every single month, it will not work. Period. That can be your marketing rules right there. You're like, all right, I'm going to write this down. Marketing 101. If I don't do it to the same customers or same potential customers every 30 days, it will not work. Period. That should shift your behavior right there. But nobody does it. Almost nobody. Literally almost nobody. They're like, Matt, I want to do direct mail. Let's do it. Blah, 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 blah. They order 2,500 pieces and they do it once. I hear from them 6 months later, I want to do it again. Well, how did it go the first time? Went awesome. Well, why didn't you order 30 days later? It's just I got busy, or it's just a lot of money, or you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Don't even spend the money on it because you're just going to lose. So if you're not consistent, don't do it. Actually, go get a 9 to 5 because you're going to go out of business sooner than later. All right. So marketing consistency is number 2. Number 3, speed. This is a big one. Everybody's underestimating how fast you need to be in business in order to win at a high level and win quickly. Speed is like one of those underrated, it's not, I guess it's a skill set, but underrated things that very few people talk about, almost nobody executes on, and it's 100% free, and it absolutely will generate more revenue in your business. Absolutely. Okay? You're like, what's speed mean, Matt? Well, what's your speed to lead? So like, for example, if somebody goes on your website, fills out a website submission form, and that gets emailed to you, how fast do you call them back? I'm going to wait a minute because I want you to answer this out loud to yourself. How fast do you call somebody back when you get a website submission form on your website? If the answer is anything over 1 minute, you're too slow. You're like, what? Yeah, you're too slow. Okay, when I was working with a past company, their response times were 15 to 30 minutes, and they were wondering why the leads weren't answering the phone. I'm like, you are an idiot. It's got to be under 60 seconds. And honestly, with AI, it's only going to get faster. It's only going to get faster. So speed to lead, meaning your response time to a lead, has to be extremely fast. Because here's what happens. Someone clicks your Google ad, they go to your website, they fill out a contact form, they submit it, they go back, they click another competitor, they go to their website, they fill out a contact form, they submit it, they go back, they do it all over again. Guess what happens when you call that person in 15 seconds? They don't have time to go back and go to another website and submit the information. And oftentimes, when you're that fast, they're going to be like, holy crap, I just filled that out. Yeah, I know. We have a policy here where we like to do everything very quickly. By the way, when can we get you on the schedule? Can we get out there tomorrow morning? They're like, I'm just going to have this company come out. Like, geez, oh, Pete, they're on top of things. Boom. You're closing more deals at a higher rate. You're making more money. Okay. The next thing is like responding to customers. I think it's no secret. Probably you guys all experience this now. Customers are doing a lot more texting with businesses. How fast are they getting responded to? Like how fast do you actually respond to a text message? It should be immediately. If you're like, well, Matt, I can't do it because I'm on a job, hire somebody. If you can't do it, you're at that point, you need to hire somebody because you're losing money and you're not creating a great customer experience. So you need to be responding to customers fast. How fast are your sales appointments? How far out are you booking your sales appointments? Are you booking them days out, a week out? Too far. Ideally within 24 hours. Absolutely no further out than 48 hours unless the customer requests it. Okay? So we want to get there as fast as humanly possible so we can close the deal before, half our competitors even call the customer back. All right, so speed is number 3. It's a massive one. It's 100% free. It costs you nothing, absolutely nothing. So if you don't have speed inside of your business, it's your fault. It's because you're lazy and you're not implementing it. Okay? Hard truth. Sorry, guys. Number 4, big one here, sales process. Most companies have no sales process at all. At all. They show up to a house. They do something a little bit different every time. What do they say when they knock on the door? Whatever they want. What do their inspections look like? Depends how tired they are. Right? What does their sales process look like when they sit down with the customer at the kitchen table? Well, oftentimes they don't sit down. They just say, we'll email you a quote. Right? Or they sit down with them and they just go through the estimate and that's it. Does that sound familiar? It's why you're not closing deals. It's why your close rates are low. It's why you're not making more money. It's why you're not able to charge more. Right? Like so many people bitch and moan that, oh, I keep getting outbid by the cheap guys. You know why? Because the customer doesn't see a big enough value difference between you and them to go with you. You feel like the cheap guy. The only difference is you're not cheap. Let that one sink in. I know that hurts to hear, but you guys don't have a sales process. You don't know what the heck you're doing. You're not running every single customer through the same freaking process. And that's a problem. And that's why you're not where you want to be. That's why you're not able to charge more. That's why you can't charge more like the expensive guys do. So when you show up to the house and you knock on the door and you take 3 steps back and the customer opens the door, what do you say? What do you tell them is going to happen next? What do your inspections look like? What do you do when you actually have your appointment inside the house at the kitchen table? Some of you guys are like, well, we do window cleaning. We quote over the phone. You're an idiot. You're losing so much money. Do you know how much higher your average order value could be if you're running in-person quotes and bundling services and selling packages and asking good questions up front so you can find out what the customer's real pain points are, what they're really looking for so you can sell around those pain points? Have your 3 pillars so you can sell your company's top 3 things that are important to the customer. You can't do that over the phone. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And you're leaving tons of money on the table. I talk to roofing contractors all the time that charge $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, and they don't even sit at the kitchen table. They show up, they do their inspection, they tell the customer, "Hey, we'll send you an email we'll send you a quote in your email. Let us know what you think." And then they wonder why they're not closing deals. They're wondering why they're getting beat by the cheap guys. It's because they're doing exactly what the cheap guys are doing. You guys, you have to understand this. There's cheap guys in every market, and there's expensive guys in every market, and they're both winning jobs. Which one do you want to be? Which one do you want to be? Because one doesn't make a lot of money and one gets rich. It's going to take effort. It's going to take effort if you want to do it. Last but not least, most people do not have a framework, a funnel of how their business operates. You should have a customer journey literally laid out on paper of what happens from the first time the customer calls to the final time the check's collected or whatever the final task is, asking for the review, your follow-up phone calls. You should have every single checkpoint documented from the very beginning to the very end. You should have this documented so you and your whole team can see this. You're like, well, Matt, it's just me. Good. Then do it for you because you need it. Because when you grow a team, they're going to need it. So do it now. You need to be able to be very, very clear on what the life cycle and the journey of your customer looks like inside of your business. When you do this and you start to lay this out on paper or on your computer, however you want to do it, right? And you can kind of see this funnel that you work them through from the very first phone call to the sales appointment to the follow-ups to the closing of the deal, to the signing the contract, to the collecting the deposit, to doing the job, ordering the materials, the whole 9 yards, to closing out, to asking for reviews, everything. What does this framework inside of your business look like? And this should be really easy for you guys to map out. And once you map it out, I guarantee you're going to be like, ooh, that's kind of weak. We could improve that. How could we improve that? Well, we could do this. We could try this. Implement it. But you'll never be able to see it unless you have it out in front of you. And once you come to a finalized version of it, you can share it with your team, or you can work on it with your team. And you can say, guys, this is the framework our customers go through. This is exactly how we do all of this. And you get very, very specific with every role that touches that customer inside of that journey. And that's how you do it. So I hope these 5 things help you guys a little. As always, I know that 99% of people will listen to this and do nothing. But there will be 1% of you that actually implement some of this. So thank you, because I wouldn't be talking on here if I didn't believe in it. And these things will help you 1,000%. Like, all of them will generate more money inside of your business. So unless you don't like money, okay, don't do these if you don't like money. But if you like more money, you should really highly consider diving into these 5 things. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. As always, if you need any help marketing your business or want to work with me directly doing one-on-one coaching, visit serviceindustrycoach.com. We'll see you on the next episode.